Welcome back, everybody. Back onto part 4 of building our E11 blaster. We're at the stage right now of start welding everything up. But to do that first, as we mentioned before, you got to go ahead and remove your individual components here from your parts kit. Now, what I recommend doing is using some sort of a grinder, a cutter. I used an air grinder to do this, a cutoff wheel. You can use an electric one. You could even use a Dremel, I suppose, although that would probably take a long time to cut all this out that way. Now, when you're cutting this stuff out, these are already done. I already prepped them. When you're cutting it out and stuff out of the parts here, cut a little extra. When you're cutting this piece out and stuff, all your pieces, cut them a little bit extra, a little bit wider. Don't try to go right on the seam that you need. That way, it does allow that if you do accidentally slip up and cut, you won't actually damage the part you want. Okay. Also, the other reason is, I don't know if you can, how well you can see this here. Right about there. You can see that that's the original casting when this was made and welded on back when these were made up in the 40s. What I did is I allowed a little extra, and I took a bench grinder. You could use a hand grinder too if that's all you got. I used a bench grinder and slowly ground down the metal on the edges and stuff. And when you do that, it'll be shiny. And you'll actually, if you look really closely, you'll be able to see a line. When you start grinding down far enough, you'll be able to see an actual line in the metal. That's where the two pieces of metal came together when it was welded. And once I got to that point, I simply took a pliers, grabbed a piece of the extra, again, this is why we left some extra on here, and stuff, and peeled it off of there. And I did that off the trigger grip mechanism, and so far I've also done it off the magazine well. You can see right there. Again, it's almost has kind of a gold appearance to it as the original metal. It's not even the shiny silver like here where you can see where it's ground. There's a little bit of a different appearance, but leave a little extra, get it ground down just a little bit, and then you can pry it off. And then that's the actual casting. And that way, when you have your, go to actually weld this up, your part, you go to put it on here, like so, it'll actually fit a lot better. You have a lot less welding to do. It'll look a lot cleaner, look more professional. It'll look more original too. So that's a little trick on that. To do that, it's not easy. I had to use a lot of force to do it, and it was tough for me to get off, but it can be done. Take your time, use a vise if you got one, and slowly work on it until you can peel that off. That's the better way. If you can't do that, then you're going to have to resort to just grinding it down to make it fit. That could take multiple grindings and take a lot of time, but it can be done either way. So now we're going to put a couple tack welds in here real quick and kind of show what we got. Okay, I put a couple just quick tack welds on here to get this kind of held into place. It's on there. That's the basic thing. Got to clean those up. We're going to fill them in, feather them out a little bit. But that's the start. And as you can see in there, maybe down through the tube and stuff, again, where the magazine well is and stuff, the metal in there is solid, so it cannot accept an actual live magazine with any ammunition. Again, ATF compliant, in addition to the tube being bigger on the inner diameter than normal, but also, if you want to go to any Comic-Cons, events, anything like that, a lot of times they'll check and stuff, since this is based off of a actual firearm, it's going to be just a prop, they a lot of times want to check that sort of stuff, make sure it's safe. So there's that. On the next one and stuff, we'll start getting into more details and more final assembly. Thank you.